What's up, guys? Winter Kills here, and I've just got back from day one at YCS Niagara Falls. Had a ton of fun there, and I'm going to go into detail about my whole experience in general in a separate video, much like I did for YCS Pittsburgh in 2017. I haven't been to a YCS in like 2 years, so it was really awesome to be back in sort of that competitive atmosphere. And meet a bunch of awesome people. I had some people come up to me and who recognized me, and someone asked me to sign a token and things like that. So huge shout outs to everybody that came up and said hi and all that. So it was really nice to meet all of you, and I really appreciate you guys coming up to me and saying hi and things like that. It's just really nice to see, meet you guys. So what I'm going to do here is do a tournament report for the deck that I played at YCS Niagara Falls and all my matchups and things like that. I'll go through, the card by card, obviously, and some cards I didn't go into, etc., etc. And, yeah, but like I said, I'll do sort of more of a in-depth, how the whole day went type thing, and the whole experience went, in a whole separate video, just be called, like, my experience at YCS Niagara Falls 2019 or something like that. So, I played pure Mekk-Knight. I decided to play this deck because, a week or two prior, I had a lot of success with this deck at a mega tournament at my locals. I played 6 rounds and ended up splitting for first with it. And then I played another locals immediately after and only dropped 1 game. So in 10 rounds, I was 8-2 after 10 rounds at locals. So, and I played a wide range of stuff, and the deck fared pretty well. But there were some things I didn't play against and some things I just neglected to practice. Also picked up some of these dice. This is the one I got. I traded for somebody with this, and I picked up another one. The beautiful dice here, man. I was really happy to get these. But yeah, I decided to play pure Mech just because I felt like it was a really viable deck, and it seemed like it just has really good matchups against a lot of decks. And just people just don't know how to play around like Indigo Morningstar with Secrets. It's just a solid board. Like at the end of the day, it's just so strong. But we're gonna go through the main, the extra, and the side. I don't usually do side decks, but I will go through the side for this video. But yeah, to start, I played triple purple Nightfall. This is probably your best card in the entire deck. Pretty much every time I started my turn off with this card, it was a really good turn. Never got ashed really. This card pretty much always went through, and I always came back in standby phase to return that board presence. So card is so good. Definitely got to play 3. I also played 3 Blue Sky. Don't regret playing 3 of this. This card was the card that got ash more often than not, but like if it went through, I was just winning that turn. Like it was just that good. Like you got to play 3. Because there's a lot of turns where like if I was going first and I already had Indigo, I would just Nightfall for blue, just so I'd have this for pressure next turn, because I could start my turn with it, and just bait out a negation or something. Because they don't want to let me search off this. They don't want to let me add 2 Mekk-Knights. So that's a good way to, start off your turn by baiting out, negations with the Blue Sky. Because it's like, do you want to let me add 2 cards to my deck, man, or no? Things like that. And you just follow up with better plays. Then we have 2 Indigo Eclipse. There was only one point where I wish I had a 3rd one. And that was like later in the tournament, like round 7. I think I wish I had a 3rd one to summon off of memory, but honestly, I don't think it made too big of a difference. I think 2 is fine, and maybe I'll bump up to the 3rd one because maybe I want to play. I kind of want to experiment playing a higher Mekk-Knight count. So 2 Indigo, then 1 Red Moon and 1 Yellow. These guys came in handy a lot, just to clear things, clearing back row and simplify game states and clearing monsters. Very good. I didn't play the vanilla Mekk-Knight. I didn't miss that card at all. There was like maybe 1 game where I kind of wish I had it, but it ultimately didn't matter. But yeah, this is standard Mekk-Knight lineup. Like I said, the only thing I might change going forward is maybe I'll add a 3rd Indigo, or maybe I'll add green for resource recursion from grave, or maybe I'll add that one of vanilla and test it out a bit more. But that was the Mekk-Knight lineup, 10 mechs in total. Very happy with that. Like I said, I might make some changes to it, I don't know. Then I played 2 Draconet and 1 Ibly. This card is just insane. Like, it's just so good to go into the Ib combo, going 2nd or 1st. This card I never wanted to search, never wanted to go into it, so I'm definitely cutting this card 100%. It came in handy at the mega tournament I went to a couple weeks ago, but like every time I saw Sign Up Mining today, I went for this card instead. Just never wanted to go for this. Sided this out a lot against a lot of decks because it's just not the greatest. I played a couple True Dracos, and like this is just really bad against them because it's just tribute fodder. But Draconet, hands down MVP in here. It's such a good normal summon. I think it was like round 7 against Salmon Great. Like I had done it. I like baited out like so much stuff. Like I baited out like a Rage. He popped 2. Baited out an Ash with a Memory. And that Ash got negated, or the memory got negated with the Ash, so it didn't resolve, so I was still able to summon other monsters other than the Mekk-Knights. So then I just followed up with the Draconet, had full combo, and was able to, you know, like, grind out that rest of the game with that Salad player, and it was really, really clutch. It's just so good. And then, of course, played the one Crowned, the one Lead the World Chalice Fairy, and the one World Legacy World Chalice. You have to play this. There were games I drew this, but I was able to put it back in the deck with Phantasme. So it wasn't too big of a deal. This card and this card, like low-key, extremely underrated. Like I was thinking about trying a build with multiple copies of these, and like maybe like 2 of these and 2 of these, because this is like an extremely good normal summon, because you can normal it, add this, and then link into Almirage and give yourself a star to a column. And then this is just such a good discard fodder for your Morningstar, and it gets you a search next turn. And you can revive this off of secrets, and like it's a threat for anything they go into the extra deck with. You get to send like a Borload to the graveyard on summon. There's not much they can do about it. So, although I never did it, I almost did it against Salmon Grape, but I needed to revive an Indigo off of my secrets instead of that. But could have came up. So yeah, that's all for the Mekk-Knights and like the other engines. Now into the hand traps. I was very fortunate enough to be able to pick up 3 Phantasme before the event. Now, I know this card is by no means budget, but, you know, budget players beware, I guess. This card was insane. It definitely worth the value. I actually picked up 2 of these off of a friend for some store credit trade. So huge shout outs to him. I think his name is Dustin, so if you're watching, appreciate you hooking me up with the Phantasme. He's my brother. Super helpful. And I ended up buying a 3rd one off TCG Player. By the way, use my link down in the description. If you're buying anything off TCG Player, use my link. Help support me and support the channel by using that link to buy things on TCG Player. But yeah, this card was insane against Sky Striker and Salmon Grade, and I played a Musket deck. Like this card is nuts. Like, it gave me protection for like my Mekk-Knight plays going into Striker boards and Salmon Grade boards. Like, and just gives you that board presence. So like it's not as hard to like make, you know, Morningstar, because you already got a body on field. Like it's such an amazing card. I'm super happy I was able to get my hands on it in time. Then moving on, 2 Ash and 2 Ogre. I kind of wish I played 3 of each of these. Because, like, there were definitely games where I just didn't see hand traps when I needed to see hand traps. Like, I didn't see Phantasme, I didn't see Ogre, I didn't see Ash. I think I'm probably going to bump these up to 3 apiece. Or maybe add, like, 2 Valor, or something, I don't know. I definitely just want to add more hand traps, because, like, I just blind go second all day. And won a lot of games because of doing that. A lot of people didn't expect it. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. I think it's like 22 monsters or something. Yeah, I played 40 cards also. Then spells, 3 World Legacy's Memory. This card is insane. Hands down, best card in the entire deck. It's a amazing starter when you don't see any Mekk-Knights and you don't have any ways to make any columns. Like, if you don't have cards to be able to set in your field, but your opponent gives you stuff to work with, you just go purple for blue, and then you're just in there. This card is amazing. I wish I could play like 5 of those if I could. And then I play 3 Mind Control. This card is also insane. Won me a game against Salmon Great round 7. Took his Borload, and it was just game right there. He scooped immediately after. This card came in so clutch against Sky Striker. Anytime I saw this card, I was just in a really good position. Yeah, I think Mind Control is great. Definitely still want to play 3. Then I played 2 Dark Ruler No More. I don't think I resolved this card once the entire tournament. It's mainly because of what I had to play against, but also at the same time, it's just like, I kind of wish these were just something else overall. That's something that's more useful against a wider range of stuff. Yes, this is good for breaking Orcus boards, Thunder boards mainly, and like Pendulum boards. But like, it's just, I kind of want to swap this out for something better. Something more generic that's good against a wider range of things instead of those classic build-a-board decks that we're seeing that are honestly kind of seem like they're falling out of favor based on things that I was seeing at the YCS. 2 Cyclone. This card was really good. Outing set cards and then banishing it to out Floodgates and like Mystic Mine and multi-roll. So that was good. Definitely like that. 2 instant fusion. Came in handy when I saw it. I'm really glad I decided to play 2 because I think there were 2 times where I saw the second instant fusion after I resolved the first. It was just set fodder or discard fodder for sign up mining. So 2 instant fusion was nice. I played 1 sign up mining, 1 succession, and 1 key. This card is insane. It's just so good against trap heavy decks. This card is amazing. This card, like, I opened up the 1 of sign up mining like quite a few times. And the reason I decided to play sign up mining instead of just 3 Draconet is because I decided last minute to play the 2 Draconet and 1 Ibly, and I wanted to play sign up mining mainly because I wanted to have the option, like if I see this card, to be able to search out Ibly or Draconet. But like every time I went to see to search, I searched for Draconet. So maybe I cut this completely, just add a 3rd Draconet and just go from there. Then the last 2 traps, 2 secret. This card is insane. It just wins you straight up games. It's so hard for your opponent to out Morningstar Indigo with this up. You just put it in their extra monster zone that they don't control, or they do control, and every time they just gotta go and do it. Like Heat Leo to spin this, it's negated. Mirage Stalio and Sunlight Wolf, this is negated. Or if they have a Sunlight Wolf here and I slide it over after negating like a Gazelle or something, like it doesn't special summon in that zone, so like Sunlight Wolf wouldn't get its effect. Even if it did, it would just be negated on resolution anyways. But this card is insane. Maybe I'd play 3, but I think 2 is a good number because there were sometimes I drew it and I didn't want to draw it, and sometimes I don't think I ever drew 2 this card once, so that was good. I definitely can't complain about that. I was gonna play Impermanence, but I decided to play Dark Ruler No More instead of Impermanence. But like, to be honest now, I kind of wish I did play Impermanence. I know it conflicts with Phantasme, but like Impermanence again, it's not so like specific against like what it's good against. Like it has a wider range of uses, I feel, than just this. Because like a lot of decks will need things for you to negate, like you'll want to negate them. But few decks that you'll play will need to be like affected by this card. Like most of the things in your deck can deal with those boards, other than just this. So I think Dark Lord No More, it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I think I might not play it in the main deck anymore. Now we'll go into the extra. We have 1 copy of Boral Sword Dragon, 1 copy of Borreload Dragon, 1 Mekk-Knight Crusadia Avermax. Never made this, surprisingly. Never made this. I made this against what did I make this against? I think like Salamangreat. I think I made this against them. I misplayed really badly against Salamangreat game 1 in round 7. Yeah, we'll talk to that later. But yeah, I made this. This card is nuts. This card single-handedly, I made this game 1 against Striker like round 6, round 5. As soon as this card hit the board, like he just scooped, because like he tried to anchor, I'm like, you can't, and then tried to imperm, I'm like, you can't. Like this card is just so strong. Basically your built-in archetype version of a Soldier of Chaos, the Spectrum Supreme. Never made this, although it would have won me round 7 had I had more time, because I lost in time. And if I would have scooped earlier game 1, this card would have came in handy game 3 and would have won me that game hands down. But yeah, I digress. It's all water under the bridge. Then I played 3 Morningstar, because I feel like with the Draconet engine you kind of have to play 3, mainly because you go through 2 in the first combo. Ideally you're going through 2 of them, so you want a 3rd one later to be able to search like a memory, an indigo, or a key, to be able to have a follow-up, and do some other plays. But yeah, I think 3 was fine. I really like 3. 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 El Mirage. I made this a couple times. I made this a lot. Link Disciple was amazing. I was playing against Salamangreat. A normal Draconet, it gets ashed. Link into this. What is it? Use Mind Control, take a Sunlight Wolf, put it underneath this, tribute away, draw a card, and it was just, I think I drew like really well off of it. So like this card was, I really like this. It's just like your Draconet gets ashed, you link into this. So I made this card surprisingly a couple times. Then I played Link Haribo for the Thousand Eyes, of course. Picked up a secret rare one there. Made this, and never made the Dingirsu. I decided to play Dingirsu over the Galaxy package because it just takes up less space, and ideally it's like pretty much just as good. Gives you board protection, and gives you ability to just non-target removal something. Never made it though. There was a time I wanted to make it, but like I just couldn't, because I couldn't get another level 8 on board, and I think it's because I was only playing 2 Indigo. I think if I had a 3rd one, I'd been able to make it. But yeah, I'm not gonna cut this card yet because in theory I still think it's pretty good, but like I just don't know what else I would like add into the extra deck to like take its place, because There's only a few cards in here I didn't make, and that was mainly just this. I didn't make, where's it? Didn't make that, and I didn't make Avermax a single time. They just never needed to come up. Never had the opportunity to go into them. Yeah, and you think Boral Sword I would have gone into like a lot, but I didn't. I just OTK'd without it most of the time. Now we'll go into the side deck, where I played 3 Lancia. Never sided this in a single time because I didn't play against any Orcust. Then I played the 1 Scythe, sided this in a lot. Played 2 Twin, sided that in a lot. E3 Sanctum, sided that in quite a bit. 3 Reboot, sided that in a lot. 2 Gozen, sided this in once against Striker. Sided this in against every Striker matchup. Because it's basically a searchable Imperial Order. So yeah, the side deck was like pretty spot on. The only thing that sucked was this, because like I just never played against Orcust. So Cyber Dragon Orcust, didn't play against Danger Orcust, Pure Orcust, whatever you want to call it, Orcust. Yeah, so didn't see the need to side those. So I don't know if I'm gonna drop those or not, just because like I just didn't play against Orcust. I feel like that's foolish just to cut them just because I didn't play Orcust. But I don't know, maybe I'll cut down to 2 and maybe drop like something else. Maybe I'll drop the Gozens, because the Gozen actually kind of screwed me over because of Phantasme. So I think I'll probably drop Gozen and Alancia and try to fit like another 3 of them there, maybe like Nibiru. But yeah, now I'll go into my matchup. So I played all 8 rounds. They did 8 rounds day 1, and I think some X3s were like guaranteed to get in based on like how many people were there. Round 1, I played Burn. Surprisingly enough, I won that 2-0 because this World Legacy Key is just such a fantastic card. I don't think he was like, you know, I think he was pretty new to the game, because I had this up and then like 4 Mekk-Knights on board, and they're all in the same column as his traps, and he like flips up all 4 and then accumulated fortunes. The last one, I'm like, okay, they're all negated, and I just OTK'd him. So felt bad for that guy, but had to beat him pretty easily. Then I played against True Draco round 2, because I did like 2 repairings for some reason. So like the first guy I was supposed to play against actually recognized me, so shout outs to you if you're watching this. And then we got repaired, and then repaired again. I had to play against Draco. Game 1, he had too much back row, couldn't play through it. Game 2, I opened Ash and Ogre. Had the Ogre for the diagram, had the Ash for the demise, and OTK next turn. Game 3, this man goes first, sets 2 with Ignis, and I go Twin, and he has Order, so I have to chain another Twin, and he has True King's Return and just Tribute Summons. I just go -4 and lose, just because Order's a cool card. Then game 3, I played again. Round 3, I played against True Draco again. Lost 1-2. There's not much to say there. Like, I don't really feel like I misplayed. I definitely did misplay, but I mean, yeah, I definitely did misplay. Who am I kidding? I feel like game 3, I definitely misplayed. I like set my reboot the one time like an idiot. But like I just like couldn't use it, and I just didn't feel the need to like to keep my hand anymore. So I just set it to make a column because I needed to, because I didn't want to set anything else in my hand. And yeah, obviously the thing that's talking about those matchups is like Phantasme, Dark Ruler, like just completely dead. So I decided those out like every game. Then round 4, I played Muskets, won 2-0. That was just really easy Phantasme and, you know, just OTK. Round 4, I played against Salmon Great. Game 1, or I won 2-1 against Salmon Great. Round 5. He misplayed around the column setup, like game 1. Like he just couldn't out the Morningstar with double Indigo, and he just scooped next turn. Game 3, I get Nibiru'd when trying to go for game, and I win in time because like he was establishing a pretty big board, and he was afraid of Nibiru himself, so he didn't fully go all in because he thought I had Nibiru, but I didn't. And then next turn I go purple for blue. Blue's gonna search 2. And he roars it, and then I had search Succession earlier off of the World Chalice, off of this, and it got me Succession, and I just used the Succession to bring back Indigo, run over Spinny for 14, and that was game. Like time was called like 10 seconds after that. So yeah, I hate to win in time, but like it came in clutch, so you know, a win's a win. So you got to take those. You hate to see it, etc., etc. Round 6, I played against Striker. Game 1, I end up like I went double Phantasme, and I like Phantasme his first one, and then I like summon. He like goes for Ray on my turn, and he summons another link, and I has Phantasme again. So I got like double Phantasme on my board. He ends up like anchoring the one because I didn't want to like negate, and I already used the other Phantasme to negate something earlier to protect something, and he Widow anchors it, and he just like can't do anything because there's a main monster zone, or monster's main monster zone. And I make the BLS link by like mind controlling his Shizuku and then linking like a Mekk-Knight, the Phantasmate, and the something else, or in Shizuku into the BLS link, and he picks it up and reads it and just scoops basically. And game 2, I decided in Gozen match, and I went first to set Gozen match. He normals Ray, and then I just Gozen match, and he just pretty much has to sit on Ray for a few turns and just keeps beating me down. And I drop Phantasme, I'm like locked into darks, and then like he clears the Phantasme, and I like memory out for purple while there's no other like dark on my field, so I have a light, banish, search blue next turn, and then like the Phantasme comes back, and it was just really weird and awkward. So I think I'm just probably gonna cut Gozen for now, because honestly, it just seems like lackluster against a lot of things. I didn't play anything against any Thunder either. And then game 3, I have like the Whispers set up with like Indigo and Morningstar, and he like activates a Widow in the same column Morningstar's in, and when Whispers was already up, and like it's just negated. He activates another Widow, I chain the Indigo, move over, negate, and like Whispers just wins me that hands down. Round 7, I played against a very good Salamangreat player, probably one of the best Salamangreat players I played against. So yeah, he's an amazing opponent, very professional. Game 1, we grinded out for like 20 minutes game 1, and I should have scooped way faster in hindsight, because like I was trying to OTK him because I felt like I had gone into Borrelord, but I just ended up making Borrelord to take like his transcode talker, and he had that like set up, and it was like a really sturdy board for me to try and get through, and I just couldn't break it, so I had to make Borrelord, and then he just raged my Borrelord into purple next turn, and he just kind of won. Game 2, I go second, I believe, and like I opened up really well. I'm like Phantasme, Ash, like just the whole setup. I opened up reboot, didn't need the reboot. I make BLS Link, and he just has Borrelord after I negate a bunch of his stuff with Indigo. Like I had double secrets, and since it's not once per turn, like I brought back one Indigo to negate and move, and then brought back another Indigo to negate and move. And then like he made Borrelord, killed one of the Indigos while I had BLS Link up, and then I draw Mind Control for turn, take his Borrelord, and he just scoops. Game 3, there's like 4 or 3 minutes left in game 3. Very little time. And I go first. I set Sanctum. I just shotgun it in a standby phase because I just need to do it. Summon Scythe out, and he passes. I draw Draconet for turn. He ashes it. So I just swing in with as much as I can. And we just kind of like pass back and forth a simplified game state, and like comes to a point where he has Transcode Talker, Sunlight Wolf, and Will the Salamangreat in the Spell and Trap zone on this side, in this main monster zone. And I go like Memory for purple for blue, and then like set up another column with like Indigo, make Morningstar, pitch, add Succession, and I go to make Spectrum Supreme. There's like 15 seconds on the clock, and I had red and yellow in my hand too, so I could have summoned the yellow had I had enough time, blown up his Will of the Salamangreat, because I don't think he had a Banelinks in his grave, but if he did, it didn't matter because I could just keep yellow starring for multiple copies just till it gets off the field. And then I could use Spectrum to send the yellow to summon another Mekk-Knight like way over in the column that it's not in, and attack directly for 3k, and that would have won me the game if I would have just scooped earlier in game 1, man. That is probably the most like painful thing to take away from that game. But like still, he's a really good player, and really happy to play against him. Professional, common, collect, Nuos plays really well, didn't slow play at all. Excellent player, so glad to play against him. Round 8, I played against Sky Striker, so like in theory it's a very easy matchup, but it's been 8 rounds. It's been like I've been here for like 12 hours almost, and I'm just tired. I'm making like terrible plays, and game 2 I forget to side out Dark Lure no more, and I just draw it for turn and I just lose. So like there was a point where I had BLS Link and he had Bomber, and I just had to pass. He crashes, and I take 3k, and it just, I don't know, just came back in his favor full swing. So went 4-4 on the day. I was X3 going into round 8. So yeah, X3 into round 8. I think that's not bad. I so could have won that Salamangreat matchup, man. And that Striker matchup. Like, those are winnable matchups. It was just me that misplayed. And honestly, definitely some tweaks that can be made in the main deck. So Yeah, shout outs to all the people in Buffalo. My boy Adam, Saturn2119, everybody in the Buffalo group, just everybody from the area in Western New York. Heart of the Game, all the people that play there, Chris Vinson, Mr. John Draco, Mr. Johnny Boo, Sheen, Dalen, Wiz, all those guys, the whole squad. And I hope those guys do pretty well, because I know some of those guys were still pretty good at round 8. Partho, Pablo, all those guys. So shout out to the local crew, of course. Yeah, had a ton of fun there. Hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth profile and tournament report. I'll be doing like a sort of a whole my experience type video soon. But I wanted to get this recorded the night that I got back, so I was kind of still fresh in my head of everything that happened. So at least match-wise. So yeah, huge shout-outs to the Western New York Buffalo gang crew. All the support from you guys, of course. Check out Imperium Duelist. Check out my link to TCG Player. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, WinnerKill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.